Tom Luganville joined us in the first hour. I asked him, would he pull Shea Patterson's red shirt?
I just don't know if you have to do it. If you preserve to this point, and when they've had opportunities for somebody else to go in, they haven't put him in the game. And I think you'd like to preserve that if you can.
He's on the preservation train. I say that word right?
Yeah.
All right,
Sweet. That was money.
All right.
Absolute money.
Never know Monday mornings.
Damn, you're on a heater.
I know, man. I came in feeling good, man. It's that hour of sleep.
Wow. Drew is for ripping off the red shirt on shirtless Shea.
Now, let's make sure we frame this. He's not for taking it off.
No.
He's
ripping it.
I'm talking about down the middle.
Actually, I want the Ole Miss video marketing team to be there.
We're just trying to help them.
And I want to see Shea in the locker room, and I want to see him rip it off.
It's got to be a red shirt, right?
Yeah, you got to get one of the red jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
And you just got to rip it off.
I think we can make this happen.
And then I want to see him run out of the locker room onto the field.
No doubt.
And everybody going nuts.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get some cheerleaders there. I mean, you can't. The fans aren't going to be there on a Monday, but I want.
They might.
I want a production. I want to see the whole thing.
If you tell them about this ahead of time,
I'm about to say they might jump out there.
If shooters shoot, then we have shirtless Shea.
Yeah, and we have both of those.
All right, what else did Luke say about the next 3 games?
When I made that statement knowing the offensive scheme that he was going into that fit him very well. So if the opportunity did present itself to play, I didn't think there was going to be a very steep learning curve. Now, if this was taking place in week 4, I think you play him, you compete him and Pellerin, away you go, and see what happens. I don't think you do it now. I got to be honest with you. If you've made it this far and you've been able to preserve him, I personally would try and preserve the rest of the year and have him come into next spring, compete to be the starting quarterback, and still have a minimum of 3 years to go, if not 4. To me, that's the long-term value. Now, if they feel like he can make an immediate impact and get them 3 wins, which I don't know if that's fair to put on the kid, then, hey, by all means, take a shot. But I wouldn't play him, to be honest with you, unless you absolutely had to.
Agree or disagree?
See both sides. I did okay to do that.
I think there's enough time in the season left where you can justify playing him,
especially if you win 2 of the 3 games, which you don't know, but you got to just take the. This is all risk reward.
Right.
But if you do win 2 or 3, which you should, I mean, Ole Miss should beat Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, which then in turn gives you 15 bowl practices and another game. Now that's a lot.
Yeah. And back to, in the beginning of the season where we thought that he wasn't going to redshirt at all, we thought he was going to play like mop-up duty. So he would have played mop-up duty against Wofford, Memphis, Georgia Southern, Vanderbilt, whatever. I think this is much more use out of the season for him to play 3 full SEC games, and he gets way more out of his freshman year than he would have just playing mop-up duty.
Which is probably true. I can see both sides. I definitely see why people would want him to rip it off and why people wouldn't.
I do too.
If it comes down to a business decision, which is how this thing is run.
Well, it's about winning games.
Well, yeah.
Then it's about winning games. For Hugh Freeze, you rip it off.
If you're a coach.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I want to see Freeze
rip his shirt off.
Rip his shirt off.
Now we're talking.
And the Ole Miss marketing team video it.
Well, if they, look.
Can we get that done with cheerleaders, jumping around and going crazy?
Trying to help them capitalize here.
Also, if you're Freeze and a head coach, why are you worried about the year? Essentially, you're worried about the year 2020 because
who gives it? No, first of all, I'm not convinced Hugh Freeze will be the coach there next year.
So
much less 2020.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're sitting here debating right now versus 2020 when he would be a redshirt senior.
That's not the deal. You know what you're paid to do? Win. You're paid to win now.
That's what I'm saying. So the redshirt is you're basically saving him for 2020.
You rip it off. I mean, unless Jason Pearland goes 3 for 3 to start against A&M and it's 21-7, and Ole Miss is up, and you don't have to play. He's ready, and you're ready to call the shot to play.
Right.
But all of a sudden, Jason Pearland is Pellerin is moving the ball up and down the field and running the ball, and you're going to go back to some I think easier pass routes and concepts and formations, and you've got big guys to hit bubble screens with, and Stringfellow and A.J. Brown. You still have Evan Ingram, and you kind of go short and intermediate with him, along with he can run the zone read with Akeem Judd.
He didn't look. I mean, I know it's Georgia Southern, granted, but he didn't look awful. He had 2 balls that one was dropped and one A.J. Brown got ripped out. From
One
him.
was stripped out.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with.
That had nothing. That was not Pellerin.
His one completion was actually probably his worst throw to Van Jefferson, where Van Jefferson was pretty open and he had to make a 1-foot handed catch.
Maybe
stay in
catching,
bounds.
maybe catching A&M at the right time.
You think they are, or do you think A&M can rebound? I mean,
It's a great
how
question.
do you look at that? They come in that game with their heads, where's it at?
I don't know.
Is it? Because you just got knocked out of the playoff race.
Yeah,
you were in it
you
last
probably
week and
weren't in it, but you got knocked out.
Right.
of it.
Well,
you got
go for
knocked
number
out
4.
of a New Year. Well,
Yeah, it might be out of New Year's Six bowl.
almost out of a New Year's Six bowl
Right.
day. I guess MSU went at 10-2,
Right.
and Ole Miss went at 9-3. That kind of tells you that's unbelievable.
They can still easily make a New Year's
Okay.
6.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
think.
It doesn't. I guess it doesn't take as much as you think
No.
anymore. I'm reading this article by Parrish Alford, djournal.com. In this, he says, and I quote, "For those who adamantly oppose burning the red shirt, and Freeze is in this camp, there's a lot to consider. And there are rumblings now that say Freeze will strongly consider pulling the red shirt." Parrish Alford goes on to say, "I was in favor of playing Patterson earlier this year, the thought being there's a good chance he'll leave after his junior season. You never know how these things will play out. You don't know if Patterson's career will be as spectacular as his high school career in recruiting rankings, or if he'll be ready to make that early entry jump after his junior
You don't know
year.
that about anybody that
No,
ever plays.
you don't. But Lugan Bill has never thought of Shea Patterson, I don't think, as an early entry guy.
No.
In fact, he said he's more closer to his ceiling than his floor.
Right.
Whereas other guys like Jacob Eason, Felipe Franks, and Jalen Hurts, and some of these other guys out of that class had a much higher upside, but that Shea was more day one ready. So.
If Reed's on the fence about it, there's nothing that'll change his mind, like being in front of 100,000 fans at Kyle Field with Jason Pellerin struggling.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Drew.
I mean, in the heat of that moment,
He is paid to win on Saturday. This Saturday, next Saturday. He's 2020. Give me a break. 2019. It doesn't matter. But if you can get some games under his belt in 15 bowl practices, then we're talking about something totally different.
So where are you on here? Sounds like you're on board with pulling it.
If I'm Hugh Freeze, I pull it.
Right.
I rip it. I rip it off in front of the cameras, in front of the Ole Miss marketing.
So you don't even allow the kid to make the option or take which way he wants to roll with it. You pull it, period.
Oh, Shay's dad's going to bless it one way or another. I can
think
promise. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
In one way, this is Hugh Freeze's call. In another, it isn't.
Right.
This will be if he gets the call and says we are going to play Shay. Well, we are going to play. We're going to have the opportunity to play him, or if Pellerin is not
right
doing what we think he needs to be doing.
But like you said,
I think
Pellerin,
he'll have to bless it though.
if he
I
runs
could be
out there
wrong.
and goes 3 for 3 and he's moving the ball
I
decently.
think
against
he's a
A&M defense.
handful.
Kelly or the dad or both. I'm sorry,
No, dad.
Patterson.
The dad.
Yeah.
I think he's a handful.
So if Pellerin runs out there and he leads your team to score 2 straight drives.
Well, then you don't need to make the move. You just let the game play out.
Okay, but what if you need to make the move in the next game? Wouldn't it be smarter to just go ahead and make the call right now?
That's a great. Maybe you just say if we're going to play him, I'll be
This is
under a lot of.
If you're playing him, you play him this game.
Yeah, because
There's no if you wait another game, then there's no point in playing.
RB.
Oh, RRB. What's on your mind? What do you have for us?
Good morning, both.
Hey, man.
2 quick things. First of all, I want to nominate somebody to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Who?
Akeem Judd.
Okay.
Because when they hand him the ball and he starts to go up the middle, he's got to dance around about 10 steps side to side before he tries to go north and south. But anyway, that's the big question on Shea Patterson is, I personally think one way or the other. He's either gone as a redshirt sophomore or he's gone as a junior. And that's why, I mean, you know, that's why I said you should have played him this year anyway. If the boy is as good as he appears to be, you know, and I know he hadn't been in a college game, but if he's as good as he appears to be, then he's going to go for that NFL money. And he's also going to look at the fact that, you know, he's going to think about, well, Chad Kelly, he could have went, and he came back, and now look what happened to him. He got hurt. And, you know, anytime you get hurt, that can affect you in the future. So I think he's going to play what he can, when he can, win what he can for us, and then he's going to be gone if he's got the stats.
All right, thanks for the call. I'm not convinced that he's a three-and-done player. And there's plenty of top 20 QBs. I mean, QBs that were ranked in the top 20 that are not three-and-done QBs. Live in the Bank Plus studio, the discussion continues. Plus, how does this impact Mullen's future in Starkville?